It's spaghetti time. I didn't want regular spaghetti, I wanted something a little different. And I do this once in a while. I made something similar to this. This is $1 million spaghetti. Now, I don't think it's worth $1 million, but it's yummy to eat and it sure didn't last long, so it must be good. Check it out. Of course, the first thing we're going to need is some water with a little bit of salt, just like that. And we're going to get the water up to a boil and put our pasta in. Now, I like to break it in half. You don't have to do that, of course. My mom used to do it for us when we were little, made it easier for the kids to eat. She actually broke it up into thirds. I've kind of gotten used to the half. It's easier to twirl it. I don't know. Of course, as it's cooking, you want to stir it so that it doesn't get all clumpy. Well, we'll let that cook. The next up is a block of cream cheese. That's a full package. And you want it softened. And that really wasn't softened. I was hoping it was, but it hadn't thawed out enough. Then in the microwave we go for a minute. That ought to do it. So now you can see the difference. It's all gooey and mooey there. Perfect for what we need, because we need it not liquidy, but kind of pourable-y. Along with the cream cheese, we're going to add a half a cup of sour cream and a half to 1 cup of ricotta. I didn't have ricotta. Next best substitute, cottage cheese. It'll work just fine. So we'll mix that all together. There's our spaghetti, looking good. Let's take it off the stove and drain it. Into a frying pan, medium heat, is our ground beef. That's 1 pound of lean, of course. And let's cook that down. Now I like to mush the ground beef down so it's in small pieces. If you add a little bit of water, it makes it a lot easier to keep it that way. It's not really boiling it, but it tends to break down easier. It depends. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Now, the recipe didn't actually call for those onions. I just had them in the fridge and didn't want them to go bad. Why let them go to waste? A little bit of onion is good in just about everything, just like a little bit of garlic's good. So there you go. Our ground beef is looking pretty well cooked. And of course, it's going to go in the oven, so it doesn't have to be perfect, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, now that it's done, to that we are putting in 1 jar of spaghetti sauce. I mean, your choice. It's 16 ounces. And now we're just going to mix it all up until we get it all nice and combined. Set it aside. Now we're going to assemble stuff. A rectangle baking dish. We're going to put a little cooking spray on it. Now the next layer is about 2 to 4 ounces of butter. I didn't have the sticks, so I kind of sliced off some thin pieces from the brick I had. You just want it on the bottom to cover it up. And then we're going to put 1 layer of spaghetti. And because it's been sitting for, 5 minutes till I could get to it, it's a little sticky. So you do have to watch it and you got to pull it apart and what have you. That's okay, that's looking good right there. Next up is our cottage cheese and cream cheese mixture. I'm just trying to get it as even as possible at this point. Now, I'm not quite sure if I wanted to do a 50-50 the next time, and I think I would 50% this mixture and 50% the ground beef mixture, but the recipe said put the cottage cheese here and the ground beef on top. So we're following the recipe for this one. But I think it would have been better with 2 layers instead of just the one. And of course, being a fan of cheese, I probably would have put a little extra shredded cheese in the middle too while we were at it. Now we have to layer the spaghetti, so we're going to take a bunch of our spaghetti. Now the idea is we're going to use up all of it. Next up comes the other 2 ounces-ish of butter pieces. And we'll lay that out all nice and neat. Yum-o. That's snacking butter pieces. Mmm. This is going to be really good when we're done, you know that. Alright, so there's our butter. Now on to our meat sauce. That is our next layer, so of course we want that as neat as can be too. And then we're going to spread that around. And you can see how the pan's getting pretty full at this point. I am a little concerned that we may not be able to have enough room, so you'll have to gauge it accordingly. I had a pretty big lasagna pan that I could have used, but I didn't. So into the oven it goes, 350, 30 minutes. We're going to take it out. And of course, guess what we're going to do now? Well, cheese. Of course, cheese. So grated cheese, as much as you want. I think we grated about 2-ish cups, 2 to 3 cups. Spread all that stuff on and throw it back in the oven. Another 10-15 minutes. And when it comes out, there is your $1 million spaghetti. Doesn't that look good? Believe me, it is. If you want to change on regular spaghetti, this is the way to go. It won't disappoint. Another great recipe, and I hope you're going to try it. If you do, leave me a comment below, and while you're at it, if you haven't subscribed, give me a subscribe, hit the bell, give me a thumbs up, all that fun kind of stuff. I sure appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.